What's up, YouTube? It's another episode of Gaming with Derek, and joining me today is Justin Romaire of Consistency Breeds Growth Nutrition. We're gonna talk a little nutrition today. Justin, how you doing?
I'm doing well, man. Got my Batman coffee. Check this out.
Love it,
Drinking my Batman coffee. I'm good.
love it. Huge fan of Batman, then I assume.
Yeah, Batman's the best. Come on.
So Batman over Superman every day, even though Batman
Yes,
doesn't have superpowers.
100%. Yeah, because he's more realistic. Like like it's more real. That's what it is for me. He's more realistic.
Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, that debate. I'm a big Batman person. I would say Batman over Superman. But I enjoy both movies, both characters, all that fun stuff. There's gonna be a new Batman, right? Isn't it Robert Patterson?
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, we'll see. There's so many now. It's unreal how many people have played Batman at this point.
Yeah. How do you
So
how do you feel about a former vampire being Batman now?
yeah, he's got the dark side with him, I guess. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how he does.
He's got the dark side with him. That's hilarious. All right, Justin. Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about nutrition, especially we're still in the middle of the holiday season with Christmas and New Year's coming up, and kind of wanted to get some tips about that and just kind of talk about how you got started with the nutrition business and all that fun stuff. So, and I've got a fun thing lined up. Not necessarily a game, but something different, but that is right up your alley. As soon as I pull it up, you'll be excited about it. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a second. I just want to talk about how you kind of got into the nutrition game and how this started for you.
Yeah, so I was in graduate school, yeah, about 8 years ago now. It's been a road, and while I was there, it's where I actually found CrossFit. I had a buddy of mine. It was a regional athlete, multi-time regional athlete. He was like, "Dude, you got to try CrossFit." That's how it goes. You have a friend that that's like, "You got to try CrossFit," so you go, right? And I stepped into my CrossFit gym, and I thought I was going to get the results that I've been looking for, right? I wanted to lose weight, become more confident in myself, build muscle. And I realized shortly after that I was getting some results, but I still wasn't where I wanted to be. So as I scanned the room, I was like, wow, that's everyone else too,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And I turned over to the nutrition side, obviously, because it seemed like we were all working our butts off at the CrossFit gym. So like it wasn't our training, right? So it was the nutrition piece. So I decided to get involved. I obviously got certified in a number of different ways, and started working with CrossFit athletes and then clients. People that needed help. And once I started making an impact, I kept going. So here we are, about, like I said, almost 7 years later.
What do you think? What do you like most about what you're doing?
You mean from the business side or just about nutrition in general?
Hey, you can take it any way you want to. We can answer both ways if you want.
Yeah. Okay. So when it comes to the business side, I would say it's so hard. There's so many different things that I do now. It's probably the interaction and collaborations that I'm making. This past year, I went to a number of different semifinal events, the CrossFit Games, and started networking with other coaches, other fitness professionals, other athletes. And that's really exciting, right? Because the sport is it's definitely changed over the last 3 or 4 years through
Mhm.
COVID. It's definitely on an upswing. And I want to be part of that upswing, right? So that I can continue to make the impact through my business and help CrossFitters. And
Mhm.
one of the best ways to do that is obviously to make connections with other people that are trying to do the same thing as you, right? So from a business side, really being intertwined with the community of CrossFit, and the players there is super fun and exciting. Even networking with like you and coming on here, I know people are going to see this. That excites me, right? It's pretty awesome. And then on the nutrition side, right now we're very much immersed in finding sustainable solutions for people
Mhm.
when it comes to nutrition. And I think people are starting to realize that their results don't count if they don't maintain their results, right? So like if someone works with anyone, any coach, and they like hit their goal weight after 3 months, but then 3 months after that they lost it, the results didn't count. They're gone. All the hard work you put in is gone. So now, obviously people are starting to continuously try to understand sustainable and consistent ways to maintain the results that they work hard for. Right. And we help CrossFitters do that without tracking macros, right? Because we feel like that's a sustainable solution for people long term. So that's what excites me on the nutrition side and developing solutions for people that have been necessitated out of all of these diets that just aren't sustainable for people.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you this. So, for anybody who sees this, I work with Justin. He's been helping me kind of get to my goals, but we do it in a different way. So you preach not counting macros. I want to
Yeah,
talk about what that process is for you because when it comes to us, we're counting macros. so
yeah,
so I kind of want to know your philosophy on not counting macros and how do you make that work for an individual.
right. Yeah, so I'll be honest, when I started this company, like I told you about 7 years ago, I told people, I was like, macros aren't sustainable. And people literally laughed at me. Everybody was tracking macros. So they were like, what are you talking about? Macros aren't sustainable. Or the if it fits your macro system, IIFYM, right? Um, and not as many people are laughing now, right? Because they realize they can't track every single gram of food for the rest of their life. Right, you could do that for a short period of time, but the problem is that coaches out there aren't providing reliable exit strategies for clients and athletes to transition from tracking every gram of food to not. So under our system, right, of course, macros matter and macros work, right? It's calories in, calories out. As the science is there, right? It's the second law of thermodynamics. So the science is there. It's just a matter of finding a way for people to understand their intake without having to track all the time,
Hmm.
right? So, like with you, for example, we develop blueprints, and those blueprints tell you how much, when, and what to eat. And then you get a macro cheat sheet to help you understand the portions of those foods, right? And when you start to understand the portions of those foods, you're actually building reliable long term skills to understanding your food intake so that you don't have to be this disconnection of the app and track every gram that you're eating.
Hmm.
You just know the portions and what they correspond to. And that goes for pizza and bacon all the way to chicken, broccoli, and rice, right? You know how to track it all, right? After a couple weeks, I taught you how to do it. Um, it's just a matter of building those skills and putting in the time to learn our intrinsic diet system, you know?
Yeah, yeah, no doubt, no doubt. You have been working with, in the past and currently, several CrossFit athletes. Currently, Samuel Quant, who's more well known, and then Jesse Harper's another one. Um, what has those relationships been like with those CrossFit athletes, and how did you get into connection with these athletes and start that relationship?
Yeah, that's a really great question. Um, so actually, Sam reached out to me multiple years ago. He, I believe, placed in the top 15 at the games. He was coming off a knee injury. This was almost 3 years ago, so I've been working with him for a while now. Um, and he reached out to me and said that his nutrition just wasn't where he wanted it to be. He wanted some assistance and a coach to be there by his side, right, and be on his team. So happily, obviously, joined his team, started working with him, and obviously since then placed second at the CrossFit Games, which was awesome, right? And then obviously with Jessie, I actually met her at a semifinal at the Granite Games last year, which you were at, I believe. You were
Mm-hmm.
doing your thing. And I seen her miss in the first event. It was a snatch event, and I seen her miss her first snatch, and I was like, okay. And I was there watching. I'd never really met her before,
Right.
and she came back, hit the rest of her snatches. Then that night, she put up an amazing performance in a thruster run event, and I was like, this girl's got grit, dude. I gotta find a way to work with her. So reached out to her, and we wanted to, start working with, some more competitive athletes, and she agreed. And yeah, so I've been working with her since then. In terms of what is the relationship like, here's the reality, right? Coaches have to, nutrition coaching is still about relationships. Like when you go to your CrossFit gym or you do anything, your coach isn't like, uh, hey, here's the workout. I'm going to go have a seat over there. Let me know if you guys need my help. Right? No,
Yeah.
they take you through the WOD. They take you through the movement structure. They help you scale the weight or the movement itself so that you can get the most benefit from your hour that you're there. Right? And from that, from the value that they're providing, you're building a relationship with them. And once you build that relationship with them, when they speak something to you, you trust and you implement and you get results, right?
Hmm.
So if you don't build an actual relationship with the clients, like me and you have a relationship, it wasn't just like a transaction, like, hey, Derek, here you go. Um, Text me if you need me, like
Right.
we actually have a relationship, right? So like you trust and implement what I'm saying, and that's why you're getting the results that you deserve, right? And it's the same thing with high level athletes, right? They have to trust me so that they implement what I say. And then when they implement what I say, they get the results. And that's sort of the environment that I want to cultivate with everyone that comes into our this system here at CBG and works with one of our coaches.
Yeah.
Right. So it's no different with our elite level athletes. It's the same.
Awesome. As big as you are in nutrition and helping people reach their goals, you also do something on your Instagram that kind of goes against that. I don't know if you know where I'm going, but you hold a food tournament on your on your
Yeah.
Instagram story all the time, and it's usually like a fast food tournament.
Yeah.
So we're gonna take that theme with this. I don't know if you've ever seen this before. This is a tier list, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna rank fast food spots from the best B, C, D, or failure or never had. And I kind of want to go over some of these. So I just want to, but I also want to preface this by saying that I haven't had fast food in years, with the exception of like Chipotle, if you're going to count that. So
Yeah.
when we discuss these, I'm going off of my past history
That's,
of when I used to binge on a ton of fast food. And there's a bunch of stuff on here that I'm looking at now. This is the first time that I'm seeing this list that I haven't had, but I
yeah.
definitely want to go over these and we'll kind of go in order so we can go fairly quickly, and if there's an explanation, I'd love to see what you think, because I would say your food this or that you do, your food tournaments,
Yeah.
highly contested when I see results. I'm like,
Yeah.
there's no way that was better than this. Like,
Yeah.
so I'm curious where this is gonna go. You
Yeah.
down
This
for it?
is I'm down for it. This is awesome. And I'll say that obviously we know fast food and having it habitually is not a good thing, right? It's not. We do the tournaments to poke fun at what people and what people like the best,
Hmm.
especially when it comes to. We just finished a breakfast tournament that's like awesome. So like people just get into it, they enjoy it, and having fast food in moderation is okay, as long as you can build that healthy relationship with food. So yeah, I'm down. Let's run this. Let's run this little game you got going here. I'm excited.
All right, sounds good. So first one up is A&W, which I would tell you I've never had. So that's where I would put it on my list. Where's it
Yeah,
going on yours?
yeah, that's where it's going.
Yep.
I never, never.
So I'm also gonna say with these that like I may shock some people where I put on the list. Arby's though I'm gonna put at B. That would be a B for me. I can't put it
Yeah,
at the best, but their curly fries I would move it up to the best. But right now
yeah.
we're gonna have it as a B. Arby's for you. Where's that at?
I'm going with a C.
Going with a C.
Yeah,
So we're gonna put up what you think. But all right, Baja Fresh for me, never had. Mexican
never had
Grill,
it either.
never had. Blimpie. Okay, so I grew up in Brooklyn, New York.
Okay.
So Blimpie for me was the go-to spot. Also, when I was a kid, there was a Blimpie right around the corner from where I went to school. But also at the Blimpie, not only was their sandwiches outstanding. Do you know what Blimpie is? You do because you're from the Northeast. No?
I'm from New Orleans, man. Born and raised.
Oh
I've been
no.
I've been up in the Northeast for since I came to graduate school. I went to graduate school in Connecticut. I went to Yale for graduate school, and I never seen this before. Blimpie.
So Blimpie's old school. Not sure how old you are. I think I'm older than you, so you probably never heard of Blimpie, but it was definitely a Northeast thing. It was a sandwich
Okay.
spot. It was a sandwich spot. It was more like Jersey Mike's than anything is where I
Okay.
would put it. But it also had an arcade in it when I was a kid. So that was the
Okay.
hangout spot afterwards was Blimpie. So for you, Blimpie's a never had, correct?
Never had. No.
Never had. All right. Bojangles is a never had for me.
Me too.
Where do you put it? All right. Boston Market. So, um, I went to college in Boston. So I frequented Boston Market a ton. So I would put it B tier. Huge fan of their chicken. Their rotisserie chicken was bomb. What about
I
you?
never had it. I
Never,
never had it.
never
Never had it.
had Boston Market. All right. We're
Never.
gonna do Burger King. I would put probably as a C.
What were those chicken fries? Remember those chicken
I
fries?
do remember the chicken fries. They were
Dude,
good.
those were really good. So, but I don't think they have them anymore.
I wouldn't know because I haven't been, but
Yeah, I feel like they discontinued them. So I'm gonna stick with the C. I'm there with you. But with the chicken fries, I'm going to B for Burger King for sure. But I don't know if they have the chicken fries.
all right, we have Raisin Canes, which this is gonna like blow
Oh,
people's
dude,
mind. Never had.
dude, it's a Southern thing. Raising Cane's is a 100% the best. Put it at the top.
All
You
right,
got to get you got to get you some Raising Cane's. In Texas, you could probably get it. So for Rogue next year, if you're there, um, yeah, maybe even in like Wadapalooza, like in Miami, you could maybe find Raising Cane's too. But it's definitely more south than anything else.
gotcha. Yeah, never had, never had. Carl's
Yeah,
Jr. for me again, never had.
yeah, never. I've never had it.
Um, and then Checkers, I've also never had.
You got to put that at the top. The best. The
The
fries,
best, really.
dude, the fries there, you won't get better fries anywhere. They're the best fries.
You know what?
The best
Checkers.
fries.
Checkers is the I was gonna say knockoff, but I think Rallies is the knockoff, right? Checkers and Rallies are the same.
Yeah,
Is
they're
that
the same.
correct?
They're
So
the same. Yeah.
I've had Rallies before.
Okay.
I've never had Checkers.
Well, that's what it is then. Where are you putting rallies? Because it's the same.
Let's see if they're on the list. Okay, so if I was gonna put Rallies somewhere, I'd probably put them D tier.
Okay. Yeah, they're the same. So
All
yeah.
right. This one is Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I've only been to Chick-fil-A like once or twice. D tier. I know everybody loves Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, they do. I think Raising Cane's is better personally. It's like another chicken joint,
Uh-huh.
right? I got to go with a B for Chick-fil-A.
B for Chick-fil-A. All right. Cool,
Yeah.
cool, cool. We're gonna take a break right there because I want to talk about obviously we're in the middle of the holiday season. People are still doing a ton of traveling.
Yeah.
Um, I'm traveling. I'm gonna be in Dubai. My birthday's at the end of the month. We have Christmas, we have New Year's, like all these things for a lot of different
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
How do you set people up? How do you set your clients up to succeed through this last stretch of the holiday season?
Oh my gosh, there's so many different things.
Besides eating
Uh,
the fast food places that we just talked about.
right. Yeah, avoiding those would be a good start. Yeah. So we have an extensive amount of tips on our uh, Facebook group page. So we can link that after too, Derek, if you'd like.
Yeah.
But definitely, I'm going to go through a couple right now. So the first thing is to remember, right? Your birthday is not the whole week, right? You're not 50 Cent, right? So like your birthday doesn't like last like every single day. It's one day, right? So like there's no reason to continuously eat these hyper palatable high calorie foods every single day, right? Just because you're around the time of your birthday. It's one day, right? And it's the same thing with the holidays too, right? So Christmas Eve, New Year's, even Thanksgiving that just passed, it's really just a couple of days, right? I mean, when you talk about 365 days a year and you talk about consistency, right? Even if you're off that one day, as long as your mindset around that day is, hey, the next day I'm going to get back on this and I'm going to get back to work. I'm going to
Mhm.
get back to my regularly scheduled meals. You're going to be fine, right? Nothing is going to, it's not going to deter you completely off of your goals, right? For one day of deciding to, let's say, have a little bit more of a portion size, or
Mm,
go with, these high calorie foods or sweets and snacks and things like that. So that's sort of the first biggest tip I can give is it's just a couple of meals, right? At the end of the day.
mm,
Um, Two is a lot of times people will get together with family and things like that, and there's just a bunch of food available at one time, right? There's like it's like a buffet almost. Like there's just food everywhere. What people do is they're not very conscious of being in the moment, right? There's a lot of different things going on, right? There's smells from the food. They're interacting with family members they haven't seen for a while, especially maybe after COVID, and things are crazy, right? It's better to try to find a way to slow down, right, and really take in the moment. Okay. And a couple things you can do to be mindful of the moment is, especially when it comes to food, is look at the entire amount of food available and what
mm,
foods are available, right? So, like, don't just go to the front of the line at whatever it is or function that you're at and just start putting food on your plate, right? Because then before you know it, you're at the end of the line and the pie's there and you're like, wait, I got this plate full of food, but I have to have the pie, right? And if you would have surveyed the room first and been a little bit more mindful, you would have made selections prior to going to fill up your plate. Now you have this plate of food, you're going to eat all of it,
mm.
right? Um, and then, of course, a really good tip for most people is to put protein and veggies on your plate first. So typically, there's a selection of so many different foods when we're at these functions, and it's best to get the protein and the vegetables on your plate first, and then go from there. Right? These are tips specifically for people trying to just stay, at a maintenance when it comes to their weight. Most of the goals that they're trying to hit. For performance athletes, things may look a little bit different, right? Because they typically struggle with getting in enough food versus too much food,
Mm.
which is what I would say the majority of us probably struggle with, right? Eating too much, right? So those are just a couple tips. I probably have 10 or 15 others on our Facebook page. So
Mm.
yeah, I think those are some of the key ones to try to focus on the rest of the holiday season.
So, so I would tell you what I would do.
Okay, let's hear it.
If I knew that I was going to go to a place where I was just gonna crush the food, I would probably not eat as much earlier in the day. Like, and I might not even eat at all to start the day because I'm gonna realize I'm going to get all my calories in at this one thing. Thoughts on that thought process?
Yeah, really good point. So there are two different things here. That can work well for some people, right? It's more of a fasting approach, right? You know you're going to be eating a lot at the end of the day. If you're very understanding and know your portion sizes and your calories, you can definitely, just allot all of your, protein, carbs, and fat and whatever else, and just your food in general to the end of the day. So if your relationship with food is such that you're still finding ways to track and understand what you're eating, go ahead, do that. Right. Even if, let's say, you're not tracking and you're just going to have a bunch of food, fine. Um, Here's the problem with it. It can start a cycle of binge, guilt, restrict, repeat,
Mm,
which is what a lot of us get into, right? A lot of us have cycles of it from the weekday to the weekend. And then a lot of us have cycles of it on the day and then at night, right? So what we do is let's say we had too much alcohol and too much food one night, right? So we binged, okay? Too much food or alcohol. So once we binge, right, we feel guilty about that. And when you start to feel guilty about that, you restrict the next day. So you skip breakfast, you have a salad for lunch, and guess what happens at nighttime? You binge again
right.
because you didn't eat enough food throughout the day to make sure that you feel satiated. And right, so you're not satiated, you're super hungry, ravenous because you haven't eaten all day, and then you binge again that night, right? So if people start to develop a relationship of binge eating as a result of this, I would say, or have the tendency to do this, I would avoid doing this. But if it's a 1 day occurrence for you to help you stay a little bit more on track, to take a fasting approach, as you mentioned, you could go with that approach. But you see where the cycle can start to develop there, and it can be pretty dangerous because people can binge eat way over the amount of calories that they would have if they
Mhm.
just had perfectly scheduled meals sort of throughout the day that made them feel satiated, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. You said one thing that it's easier said than done for a lot of people, and
Yeah.
it's Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, like those days, it's just one day.
Yeah.
But it's not just one day. There's Thanksgiving leftovers and leftovers after
Right.
Christmas and like all that stuff. So,
Right.
how do you kind of prepare people for that and not falling off in the days after with all the leftovers that may be stuck in the house?
Right. Yeah, you got to get back to your habits, right? So, like, for example, with you, right? You understand the portion sizes that you need to eat. You know what times you're typically eating. You've formed really good habits around that, right? You have to get back to those habits. Okay, it doesn't mean you need to be perfect, but you do need to start getting back to your regularly scheduled workouts. Don't decide you're going to take the whole week off from working out just because it's Thanksgiving week, right? You still have to get your workout in, whether that's in the morning before or whatever it is, right? With the leftovers, same thing. You form really good habits around understanding your portions of food. Doesn't matter if it's mac and cheese, mashed potatoes, all that stuff is fine, right? You can have all the flexibility you want with your food as long as you understand the portions your body needs to
Mhm.
reach your goals, right? So it's not that, hey, they have all these really good foods you're typically not used to eating and you have leftovers of them. What do we do with all these leftovers, right? It's more of, you can have those leftovers. All those foods are fine. You just have to make sure that they're portioned out appropriately, right? To make sure that you're staying consistent and on track, right? So if you have good habits around understanding your portions, then you can sort of utilize this as a tool to get back on track, right? Whereas a lot of people that don't understand the portions or don't know the macros in their foods because they're tracking macros all the time,
Mhm.
they could just get bogged down by having to track every gram of food throughout the holidays. It's just stressful. They don't want to do it. And before you know it, they haven't tracked throughout the entire holidays anything that they're eating. And they're not where they want to be. Right. I mean, there's 5% of the year left right now. I mean, you could start today. No reason not to start today. Right.
Yeah.
So I would say that, that's something that people can really start focusing on, right? Is just getting back to those good habits, right, that you had before the holiday, because it can spiral. You're right, and then before you know it, the whole holiday seasons is just you feeling guilty about the things that you're eating and what you did. So it's best to try to avoid that as much as possible.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's a hard thing to do. I totally get it. This is your Facebook page here. We'll talk about that here in a sec, but we want to get to the food again because we've still got a bunch on here that
Yeah,
we need
yeah.
to knock out. So let's kind of fly through these. Chipotle for me would be best.
So practical.
That's my go-to.
Yeah,
So what I try to do is once a week I'll have one meal that's outside of my prep.
yeah,
The majority of the time, it's Chipotle. A burrito at Chipotle is what I do.
yeah.
Where do you have
I
Chipotle?
love that. Yeah, I think it's so practical. I'm gonna give it the best for that same reason. It's so easy to go there, and then I mean, it's fairly healthy, right? I mean, you can go there and you know your portions, right? So you can go there and like understand how much rice and what the tortilla is, and then how much protein you want to add. If you
Hmm,
want fat, put an avocado. So like really practical. I like it. Let's keep it as the best.
cool. Church's chicken. Never had it. That's where it goes
I'm
on
gonna
mine.
I'm gonna go with C. Popeyes is better, but yeah, let's go with C.
I don't even know where Church's chicken exists. I've never seen them before. Is that a
It's in
southern?
the South.
Is it?
Yeah, Southern. Yeah,
What is this? Cookout Fresh Hamburgers. Never heard of it, so never
me
had for
neither.
me. All right, Culver's. I've also never had, and a lot of people always recommend it. They say their cheese
Yeah.
curds are really good at Culver's.
Okay.
Never
I've
had it
never
though.
had it.
There's
Mhm.
literally one a mile from my house. Never had it. Del Taco also never had.
No.
Denny's. So I haven't had Denny's in a really long time. Um, I would, phew, I would put it C tier. I only had one thing. Was it eggs over my hammy? Is that what it's called? I always had the
Yeah,
same thing at Denny's.
and they kind of have like a buffet style thing going, kind of like Sony's. Have you ever heard of Sony's?
I have not.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing. I would probably give it a D,
Yeah.
just because like I'm not a fan of breakfast food as a buffet. You know,
Oh,
it's
okay.
weird.
Okay. I thought you
Yeah,
were
as a
gonna say you're
buffet.
not like
Oh
you're.
no, breakfast is the best meal.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say
for
you're just weird. Um, Domino's. I'd probably put it. I'd put it as a C.
Yeah, I'd give it a C too.
Cool. All right. Domino's is a B for me, or Dairy Queen is a B for me. Sorry.
Yeah,
You can
I
never
gotta get.
you can never go wrong with their blizzards. One and two, they have the best quality of hamburger meat out of all the fast food places.
Where's that data from?
Where I don't remember where I got the data from, but I've
Best quality hamburger meat.
best quality hamburgers. They used to
Okay.
have one called the Ultimate, which is no
Okay.
longer on the menu. Probably the worst of all the burgers that you could get, probably even worse than like the Big Mac in terms of calories, but outstanding. Outstanding. B
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go B because of the blizzards. They're they're to die for. Honestly, they're good.
El Pollo Loco, never had.
No, no, me neither.
Firehouse Subs, I think I had it one time, maybe. So we're gonna put that as a D.
Yeah, I've never. I don't think I've ever had it either.
Never had for you. All right. Five Guys. This is the one that's gonna blow people's minds. F for me. F. Completely an F. And
Okay, you got to explain this. You got to
so
explain this.
so Five Guys has a ton of hype, right? The first time I ever remember seeing Five Guys was the viral video of the guy sitting in the car that's going crazy over the hamburgers. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's a very old viral video. I wonder if I can pull it up while we're talking. Um, but all this hype, right? I also drove DoorDash for a little bit, so I used to go to Five Guys and like pick stuff up.
Yeah,
And it's very appealing when you go in. The smells are great. Everybody talks about the fries, and you got to put this certain stuff on the fries and like all this stuff, right? We also have a CrossFit athlete here in my area in Cleveland, Jessica Androsik. She competed at West Coast. Her
okay.
mom owns one of the franchises, so when I've gone and worked out with Jessica, she's like, "Yeah, you got to go to Five Guys and blah 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 blah." And I think what happens for me is if something gets hyped or overhyped, they're
Yeah,
never gonna live up to it, right? They're never gonna live up to the hype.
right.
Um, so I went in with all these expectations of Five Guys. I'm trying to look for this viral video. Um, right here, this guy right here, 9 years ago. This is my first impression of Five
Let's
Guys.
go, toast.
And
When life has you playing
of course,
hurry
there's
up.
an ad
Oh,
there. But you're not going to hear it. I didn't know if you had seen it though.
I
Um,
haven't seen it before, but I'll definitely check it out after we're
yeah,
done here for
yeah.
sure.
So I feel like when things get overhyped, um, they never live up to it. I had Five Guys finally like a couple weeks ago. I was like, you know what?
Really?
That's gonna be my one meal. I'm gonna get a burger. I'm gonna get some fries. Highly disappointed. Highly disappointed. I've had a better burger at Quaker Steak and Lube. Have you ever heard of that place?
No, no.
Outstanding burgers. This place, didn't do it for me. Didn't do it
Dang.
for me.
I'm gonna give them a B. I do like the burgers there. I've had some really good meals there. Yeah, obviously way back, but man, yeah, you're gonna get some comments for that, dude.
I'm totally fine with it. Five Guys, F. F for me.
Yeah.
First F on the list. IHOP, breakfast foods, gotta love it. I'm gonna put it at a B though. Can't put it as the best.
Dude, I hate IHOP. I think it's terrible. It's terrible. Put it as an F. It's so bad. It's so bad. Come on. It's terrible.
Why is it bad? What's bad? I mean, I've had it in a while.
Dude,
What's
when you start comparing it to actual like Cracker Barrel, dude, Cracker
Cracker
Barrel's like,
Barrel is an F for me. Is it on the
are you
list?
serious?
Cracker
You're
Barrel
done,
is an
dude.
F.
You're done. Get out of here.
A lot of the stuff that I had with Cracker Barrel is just like kind of plain and dry and like, can't do it. Cracker Barrel's an F. All
We
right,
got to, you know what we got to do? You know how on bar stools those guys do the rating of the pizza?
the one bite like rating
Yeah,
thing that they do. Yeah, yeah,
dude, me and you got to do like breakfast. Like just go to breakfast places and just like get pancakes or whatever,
we
dude. And just
could. We'd be like competing with the Buttery Bros, but like we can do it.
yeah, hard
We
to
can.
compete with those guys.
In-N-Out Burger never had.
I've had it before. It's okay. I'd probably give it maybe a D.
All right, giving it a D. Jack in the Box for me never had.
Uh, a C.
C. All right,
Yeah,
Jersey Mike's, because now we're talking sandwiches. I put Blimpie as the best. They're one below. I would go B for Jersey Mike's.
yeah. Jersey Mike's is pretty good. I'd have to give it a B also.
Yeah, and then Jimmy John's to follow. In comparison, I would give it a C.
Dude, I can't remember what that tastes like. It's been so I maybe had it once. So like we'll leave it where you got it at a C, but I just don't remember.
Okay, let's just do all the sandwich spots. Subway for
Okay.
me is a D. It used to, I would have put it up here a long time ago,
Yeah.
but it has now fallen down to a D for me.
Yeah. I used to yeah, I obviously started with Subway and then I started getting Quiznos and I was like, man, Quiznos is better. And I like flipped. So yeah, I gotta go with C for Subway because yeah, they're not terrible. You just have the bread tastes like crack. I don't know what it is. Sometimes the bread, like it's just good. Like it's not even real bread. I don't even know what it is, but yeah, I got to give it a C.
Especially like their Parmesan bread or whatever that cheese bread is.
Yeah, it's
Outstanding.
really good. Yeah,
Outstanding. So since you brought it up, Quiznos for me the best.
yeah, dude, I love Quiznos. They're awesome. I
Okay.
give them a best too. Yeah,
All right. So what other sandwich spots we have? We'll put Penn Station in that category. Also for me would be the best.
I don't think I've ever had that, so I can't say.
Ooh,
So we can leave it up there since you like it so much, but I've never had it.
Penn Station for me is definitely up there. Okay. Jollibee never heard of.
Me neither. No.
KFC, I would put. Ooh. So I used to always do the famous bowl.
Mhm.
Outstanding, probably 4,000 calories. But
Oh
out,
God,
but outstanding.
I'm gonna go BKFC because Popeyes is definitely the best.
So we're gonna just put Popeyes right up top.
We're
Is
just
that
gonna put it up there. That's Louisiana, baby, Louisiana chicken.
so? Popeyes again was for me was one of those spots. It was literally right down the street from Blimpie
Okay,
that I talked about, and so but my experience with Popeye, I would make it a C because I think KFC is better. Um, so my experience with Popeye is I'm a big New York Mets fan. I lived in Brooklyn.
yep,
And it's where I got Daryl Strawberry's autograph was at Popeye.
that's awesome.
So that's
Yeah,
my memory of Popeyes when I think about it. The chicken sandwich that everybody raves about never had because now I mean I just don't do fast food, so I never had it.
right.
But
Yeah,
but everybody loves that chicken sandwich, whatever it is.
it's so good, dude. Yeah,
Better than Chick-fil-A, obviously, because you have that as a big.
yeah. I like Popeyes more than Chick-fil-A for sure. Better chicken place.
All right, Little Caesars, I've only had like one time. I'm gonna put it as a D.
I'll tell you this much: it's not that good. Like Domino's is better, so I'm gonna leave it there as well. But it's so cheap. It's like if you just need like a quick pizza, like it's the cheapest pizza place
Yeah,
ever. It's like $5 a pizza or
yeah,
something ridiculous.
yeah.
Like so cheap.
Yeah, it's crazy. Long John Silver's I had. That's a Southern thing, right? Um,
Yeah.
D for me.
Yeah, I got to give them a C. They're not all that. Definitely some other better places out there for seafood for sure.
Right. Um, let's see, McDonald's. So
Be careful, bro. Be,
McDonald's. Okay, so here's the thing. Breakfast, it gets the best for me because you
yeah,
never go. The invention of the McGriddle
unbelievable.
is the best thing that's ever happened. So for breakfast, I would put it there. For everything else, I'd put it as a C probably is where I'd put McDonald's.
Yeah,
So
dude. I don't know. A Big Mac is pretty good, dude. Like, there's nothing that tastes like it. There's no burger that tastes like a Big Mac. It's got its own.
have you ever had a Wendy's triple cheeseburger?
Yeah,
Outstanding.
I've had Wendy's burgers for
Outstanding.
sure. Yeah, no, Wendy's is better for burgers than McDonald's. I have to agree with you there. Um, I'm gonna go B overall because the McDonald's fries are not great, but the nuggets are pretty good. And the breakfast, obviously, they got the hottest coffee around. I mean, you got to wait like an hour till you start drinking it. It's crazy. So you can't beat the coffee. We're gonna go with the B.
Also, I think I've got to be the only person in the world that doesn't drink coffee.
Yeah, probably.
So I could never be a part of that debate. Okay, so
Yeah,
Moe's, if I put Chipotle as the best, I might have to switch them. I might have
no
Chipotle
way, dude.
here, and this is why. So when I get Chipotle, I get the burrito.
Right.
Every now and then I'll get a burrito bowl. But Moe's, their burrito and their burrito bowls, I would say they're probably just as good,
I think they're
but
almost like really similar, to be honest.
bigger portion size, and that's
Mm,
where you got to go the best. Because if you're looking to spend the same price, but you want to get like pretty much the same thing, Moe's is going to give you a bigger portion,
hmm
which you probably don't agree with because you want to preach less portion sizes.
If
but
it's protein, you could always go with more protein. Here's a hack for you when you go to Chipotle. Don't immediately say you want double because then they're gonna like skimp you on the double, right?
Mhm.
Just have them put the regular amount on and then say, "Oh, I want double," right? It's kind of like, you know what I'm saying?
That
Like,
works. That mind
yeah,
trick
it works.
works.
It works because if you go there and you say double, they're already gonna be like, "Oh, this guy wants a bunch," so like I'm gonna like skimp off
Mhm.
the amount. So you got to wait until they put the actual one portion on, right? And then it's kind of like when you go to buy a car, right? You don't say, "Hey, I got cash, like I'm buying a car." You say you use leverage that you're poor, and then right after you just pay the car off the next month. That's what you got to do at Chipotle too. It's the same, bro. You can't just tell them you want double right when you walk up. You know,
I gotcha. I gotcha. So Moe's, where are we putting Moe's?
you could leave it with Chipotle, but don't switch. Put Chipotle at a B. Like, we can't change it. Like,
No.
they're pretty even.
All right. All right. Uh, Noodles Company never had.
I never had that. No,
Panda Express also never had.
man, you never went through an airport and just was like, "Oh man, I got to eat some lunch," and like got Panda Express.
No, I never got Panda Express.
I got
That's
to go with a B because I love Chinese food
yeah.
and they're the premier for fast food that's Chinese food. So
All right. All right. Panera Bread. I'm gonna put it as a B.
the sandwich place, I mean, they're French. I got some French onion soup there. It was like really good, but I got to go with the C. Like, it's I don't like the options available there compared to like other sandwich
Okay.
places.
Okay. Okay. Papa John's. Ooh, this is
It's better than Domino's.
so I would have put them for pizza places. I probably would have put them here, the best for uh like the known chain pizza places, right?
Dude,
But I'm gonna drop it to a D, and the reason why I'm dropping it to a D, it's personal reasons for me. The last time I ever had Papa John's,
okay.
I got sick on their garlic sauce. And ever since then I just can't do it. I've never gotten sick off of food like ever, and then like it just ruined me one day. Like I think it was the last time I threw up, and I don't throw up often. And ever since then, I was like, I can't do Papa John's. So
Yeah.
before then, I would have put it up here. After it's now a D for me. I can't fail them though.
Yeah. I'm gonna put it a B because I don't think it's the best pizza place. I think Chuck E. Cheese is the best, which is kind
Whoa.
of like,
What? I mean, I've never
yeah,
had it, so I don't know. But
dude,
really,
come on. It's the cheesiest of all the cheesiest pizzas out there, dude. It's so good. You got to go to there. Like, you'd be weird going in there by yourself. Like, don't go into the ball pit or nothing, but like, just go get the pizza, dude. It's good. You got to go get it. That's the best. That's the only reason I put it a B. I don't know if you have Chuck E. Cheese on here, but we'll save a spot for it.
Chuck E. Cheese is not on the list.
Yeah,
All right. PDQ. Never heard of it. Don't know what that is.
me neither. No,
Pizza Hut. All right. Pizza Hut.
they're like the same. They're like the same as Domino's for me. They're like a C.
That's where I would put Pizza Hut too, because the
Yeah,
invention of the stuffed crust, like, I mean,
right.
just killed
Got
it.
to give them credit. Got to give them credit for that. Yeah.
Exactly. Portillo's never had.
No, me neither.
Potbelly, I've had maybe once or twice. I'm gonna give them a D.
Yeah, I've never had them before.
All right. Um, Qdoba is better than Chipotle for me. I know it's the same thing. Qdoba though, I had first. That was a big Northeast thing growing up.
Okay.
They came out before Chipotle. So Qdoba is better than Chipotle for me because they were the original.
Okay. I've never had it, but if it's close to Chipotle, I'd say that's where we got to leave it then,
It's
huh?
the same thing. Qdoba though
Yeah.
had queso. Chipotle just came out with the queso.
Right. Right.
The queso at Qdoba, that was the reason why you went for sure. And like I said, this was before Chipotle even came out. Qdoba,
Yep.
hands down. Roy Rogers never had.
Me neither. No.
Sabaro will make it a B for me.
Yeah, because it's better than like the Pizza Hut and Papa John stuff. I mean, Domino's. That category. So
Yeah,
you got to get better than that. So B.
cool. Schlotsky's, never had.
Me neither. Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Shake
What kind?
Shack, yeah, it's a bakery apparently.
Shake Shack,
Shake
dude.
Shack, I'm from New York, but I also never had it, unfortunately. There is one here in Cleveland, but I've never had it.
I got
So
to give it B, dude. They got some. It's pretty good. I got it a couple times in Connecticut when I lived there. Um, yeah, burgers are pretty good.
All right, hold on one second. I'm going to have to. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Why can't I see anything? Oh, yeah, here we go. I'm going to have to move this because I am in the way and you're in the way of the
Oh, I'm
rest
in the right
of
place.
the rest of this list. So let's move them over. Okay. Sheets. Sheets, there's actually literally one not even a mile away from my house.
I don't even know what that is. What kind of place is that?
So, gas station.
Oh,
Um,
like Wawa.
Correct. But I've never had their food because I just don't do that anymore. You want to know my go-to at
Yes.
the gas station though? Outside of Wawa, because that's also one that's highly contested, is I always did. I can
Yeah.
only find them at. I'm making sheets of D. I can only find them at gas stations. The mini glazed donuts, like the pack of six.
Mini glaze. Yeah.
You can only find the mini glaze at gas stations. I can never find them at like grocery stores. You get powdered or like chocolate. Eh, the mini glazed, that was my go-to if I'm stopping at a gas station. Get a two
Okay.
pack, knock them out. That was my thing. Sheets is a D though.
It's a D. Okay. I've never had it. I just had Wawa as gas station food before. Nothing else.
Wawa, in the category of gas station food, the best.
Yeah, definitely. It's got to be
Hands
the best.
hands down, the best.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Skyline, ready? F. Okay, so I lived in Cincinnati
Right.
for 2 years. Everyone talks about Skyline. First of all, it's not actually chili. They call it chili, but if you're from the South, but you're from Louisiana, so you should agree. It's not actually chili. Chili has a thicker consistency. First of all, there's also no spaghetti typically with chili. Like
Yeah, that's not chili.
it's not
Is it?
So when they call it chili, I'm like, it's not chili. So Skyline for me is an F because there's another place um, in Cincinnati called Five Star Chili. Five Star better than Skyline. That's the big debate in Cincinnati: Skyline or Five Star. Five Star for me, they're not on the list. Skyline's an F. Cincinnati people will hate me.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I've never had it. But chili's definitely not supposed to be like soupy with noodles. So,
So never had for you. Sonic never had. They have great commercials. Never had them.
man, I got to give it a C. They're
Giving it a
pretty good.
giving it a C.
Yeah,
Steak and Shake C for
I've,
me.
I've never had Steak and Shake, I don't think.
Ooh, you're missing out on their milkshakes.
Milkshakes, okay.
Yeah, yeah. Swenson's I had one time. We're gonna give it a C. It was pretty good burger. Pretty good burgers.
You're a burger guy, dude.
I am a burger
For
guy.
sure. You like burgers. I haven't had it before.
Okay, never had. I'm also a taco guy. So Taco Bell for me, you're on the
Yeah.
best.
Hey, dude, 100%. The best.
Taco
Yep.
Taco Cabana never had.
Me neither.
Torchy's tacos also a never had.
Same.
All right, Waffle House. Yeah, you
It,
know if
what,
you know.
I put IHOP and F. It's better than IHOP. Because it has more of a diner feel
Mhm.
for me. So I got to give it a C, but I want to hear obviously because Cracker Barrel's the top. Cracker
They're
Barrel.
they're not the top. Waffle House better than Cracker Barrel. Um, I would say I can't remember where I put Denny's. Waffle House is better than Denny's on my list.
Where's Denny's? I forgot. Oh,
Denny's on
Denny's
your
is a
list is
D.
a
You
D.
put Denny's. You
I,
put Denny's a D. Waffle House a C. Yeah.
right.
Okay.
But this is your list. I can't remember where I had Denny's on mine,
Oh yeah.
But Waffle House is
Cracker. You had Cracker Barrel's an A.
Crocker.
So
No, they're not. They're really not. Um, I think I need a new nutritionist. Um, Wendy's
I'm
for
gonna hang up.
Wendy's for me. Mm, C. I would put them in a C.
I'm trying to see where I put. Okay, so Five Guys is a B. We put McDonald's. Where did we put McDonald's? A
McDonald's,
B.
you have as
Yeah.
a B.
Wendy's is not as good as McDonald's overall. So I got to go with a C for Wendy's too.
Wendy's is a C. Okay.
Yeah,
Whataburger never had.
C for me. It's the burgers are pretty good. Everything else is kind of they're very mustardy
Mm.
with their burgers. So like if you like mustard, but yeah, C.
Okay, White Castle. Ooh, White Castle. I'm gonna give a C. Quick story with that. I hold the record. I used to work at a on a show called Cold Pizza that was at ESPN. It was before it became First Take. I own the record for most burgers eaten in one sitting, with 27 cheeseburgers. I,
Oh
s-
my
I
gosh,
stopped at 20. I stopped at 27 because we ran out of cheeseburgers and I can't do hamburgers. That was that was a different Derek.
you're the White Castle champ, bro. Their burgers are pretty good. I got to stick with a C too because that's all it is the burgers. I mean, when we're talking about McDonald's, we're talking about like a diverse array of food and other things that you can have,
Yeah.
right? Whereas White Castle is just burgers. So we're just gonna go with the C. I like that.
All right. Wiener Schnitzel. Never had Wiener Schnitzel actually. Never had. Don't know what it is.
Me neither. Never heard of it.
Wings. This says Wings Over, not Wingstop. Wings Over. Never heard of them.
Me neither.
This is Wingstop. Wingstop, I would say is a C.
Yeah, I would agree. All these places are kind of like, I could do it, average kind of thing. That's why we're giving C's. So I think that one fits in the same category. No
Okay.
different.
And then Zaxby's I've never had.
Yeah, me neither.
All right, so you have Raising Cane's, Checkers, Quiznos, Penn Station, Popeyes, Qdoba, Chipotle, Moe's, Wawa. Actually, I put Qdoba up here. You never had it. Um,
Oh yeah, because it's the same as Chipotle.
correct.
So I said, leave it. Yeah,
Chipotle, Moe's, Wawa, Taco Bell are your the best fast food spots. Interesting. Interesting.
and Cracker Barrel.
Cracker Barrel, F. That's an F. Easy. That's
Come on, dude.
all day. That's an F all day. Um, but Justin, let's wrap things up here. Just talk about where people can find you and just give your pitch.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Yeah, the food tournament was super fun. You could find us at CBG underscore online underscore nutrition on Instagram. You'll see more things like me and Derek just did, where you can vote to figure out what whatever your best foods are, breakfast, fast food. We have a bunch of different tournaments on there. So this is the Instagram here. We our main place that we offer value and we really help CrossFitters reach their goals without tracking macros is through our group Facebook page. So yeah, that's shown here. So this is you can find us here pretty much whenever. So uh, I think it's www.facebook/group/CBG Nutrition Tribe, I believe is the full link for the Facebook page. But that's where you can mostly find us. And then we have a website too, consistencybreedsgrowth.com. So yeah, dude, this was a lot of fun. I'm glad we did that. We did the tournament.
I'm glad you had fun. I think the food tier list obviously going to be highly contested. Forever and a day Cracker Barrel will be an F. That's the one that like that one ooh that one kind of irks me a little bit.
It's the only one we were like super polarizing on.
No doubt, no doubt. But yeah, definitely fun. Thanks for hopping in, and I appreciate you taking the time to do this.
Absolutely, man. We'll talk soon and appreciate you having me on.